Hello, Audacy fans. My name is Taryn Daly, and welcome to our Audacy check-in with the one, the only Adam Duritz of the Counting Crows. Adam, it's so great to see your face. I wish we could be doing this in person, and we're getting back to in-person things, but thank goodness for technology allowing us to connect today. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Happy to hear that, and congratulations on the new EP. You guys have the Butter Miracle Suite 1, which means to me that there are other suites on the way, but this is a 4-song, beautiful flowing record that is just so tasty. And we're very excited that you guys are going to be out touring behind it. I believe your tour kicks off August 7th. And this is different than preparing for any other tour because we've been in pandemic life for the past, 16 months. What was it like getting ready for this tour when live music just hasn't been a thing for so long?
Well, I mean, there hasn't really been any getting ready yet. The band is starting rehearsals today without me for a couple of days, and then we're going to continue after that. So, I mean, I'll be joining them. When do I join them? Sunday, I guess. Yeah.
Very exciting. And where do you guys link up to make all that happen?
With Atlantic City, we've got the venue for the first show. They're kind of letting us use it for about a week beforehand to do production rehearsals and rehearse. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And one thing that we know is that there's like 30, you guys have like more than 30 dates on this tour coming up. Is there a city in particular that you are most excited to visit when you guys get back out onto the road?
Well, probably here. I mean, coming home, hometown shows are really cool. And I suppose same token, LA and San Francisco. Those are or Berkeley, because we're actually playing Berkeley this time. So the actual venue's right by my old house. The first time I played this venue, I walked home and to the show.
Oh my goodness. It'll be a little different this time around, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, not walking to the show. I live 3,000 miles away now, so.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's super exciting. I know that you guys were working on this new EP for quite a while, and it was some time ago. Maybe you could kind of walk us through the timeline of, when you guys started the writing process and then having the pandemic kind of plopped in your lap when it was coming into the recording process.
No, it was all pretty quick. I mean, I started writing. I was over at my friend's farm in England, and I hadn't really played piano or written anything in a few years, and I wrote The Tall Grass. I rented a little keyboard because I wanted to play. I was by myself out on this farm, and I wrote The Tall Grass about 2 days later. And then the next day I was just kind of messing around, trying to figure out if it was really done or not. And I was playing around with the ending and trying different chords over the ending. And it sounded really cool. And I sang this line, "Bobby was a kid from around the town." And I thought, oh, that's really cool. Maybe this song's longer, like Palisades Park, and this is a whole other section. I went back to working on it. And after a little while, I realized, no, this isn't an extension on that song. This is a whole different song. It turns out to be the song Elevator Boots. And then I thought, well, it was so cool the way it flowed right out of the first song, though. What if I wrote a series of songs like that where the end of one is the beginning of the next? So I got really feverish. And that was in August of 2019. And I wrote 2 of the songs then. I think I wrote another one in October. And then January of 2020, I wrote Bobby and the Rat Kings. And then we were in the studio like less than a month later. We were rehearsing in mid-February, and we went into the studio like the last couple of days in February. We recorded for about 2 weeks, finished 80-90% of the record. And right as we were finishing up those 2 weeks, the pandemic happened, and then we took a break, and 2 days later the quarantines came down. So we got delayed a few months while we figured out how to sort of finish it up. But we were done by July. And then we were just sort of taking our time putting the album package together because there was no rush to release it right then. So.
Sure. I know that, pandemic life kind of affected, music and the arts in many, many ways. A lot of people not sure when to release albums or when to embark on a tour, but I'm glad that the timing all worked out for you guys the way that it did. And we're so excited. I know that a lot of us during the last 16 months kind of turned to the kitchen for an outlet, and you're one of the people that did that. And you did so much like cooking and pairing wine with food, and the Instagram world just loved it. Have you always been into the kitchen, or was this kind of a newfound love when things kind of went south?
Well, I've always cooked. I mean, since I was a kid, and I was pretty good. I was actually a pretty good cook, but not a great. I mean, I started cooking, I don't know, about a month into the pandemic. I went to my girlfriend and I said, I'm afraid I'm going to wake up a year and a half from now and I won't have done anything. I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to learn to cook everything, and I just started learning all these Chinese dishes. And then I moved on to more Italian stuff, which I had a pretty good base in. And then Thai food. I mean, I learned to cook all kinds of stuff. Briskets and ribs. I just worked on anything that kind of interested me, and I would read a ton, and then I would put a recipe together and I would try something and then I would adjust it. I don't know. And then after a while, my girlfriend was like, you should put some of this up on Instagram. It would be funny. And I started doing it, and then I got a little better at it. Got some apps for editing. I don't know. I mean, it was just something to do because I couldn't do anything else. We couldn't do our podcast. We couldn't tour. I mean, I obviously haven't done it in a little while because we've been busy with the record, and now I'm leaving, a couple days to go on tour. So can't really do it on tour, but I've always loved cooking. And it's just something I did because I had to have something to work my brain on, honestly.
Totally. And food is like an extension of our hearts. It's like you put your love into it. It's awesome. And I feel like I noticed a couple times that you had a sous chef, Blueberry the cat.
Yeah, Blue kind of wandered through here and there.
So who's Blueberry? Tell me about Blueberry, because I'm kind of a crazy animal lady. So who's Blueberry?
That was my girlfriend's cat, yeah, or our cat. Yeah.
Well, that was very awesome. I too have cats, and I love animals. So the fact that you're an animal guy makes me pretty happy. Do you guys have any other pets, or is Blueberry the sole kitty?
We wanted to foster some cats because we wanted to kind of help out with that and just foster some kittens when the pandemic was just beginning or right before it. But they were too cute, so we kept them.
Oh,
and we're planning on getting a dog, but it's sort of, we couldn't do it because of the pandemic, and so we're still thinking about that. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a crazy animal lady. I'm on animal probation right now. I've adopted too many, and my husband says no more for now. So if you guys do get a dog, I'll live vicariously through you.
On the farm, it was just me, a lot of the time, just me and my friend's 2 dogs. And then there's like a bunch of horses and sheep out on the farm too, pheasants, stuff like that.
I love it. Well, now going back to the Butter Miracle Suite 1, so I have to take it way back. Back in 2002, I actually saw you guys open for The Who, and it was my brother's first concert, and my parents took us, and we had the best time. And I can't help but feel like the intro, those guitar riffs to Bobby and the Rat Kings almost has like a little bit of like a Who feel to it, like a vibe. I don't know, there's like just powerful guitar strums. Do you guys find that you are influenced by the Who in any way, or kind of, I guess maybe which bands have really truly helped, build you foundation wise?
Oh, a million of them, but those chords are absolutely and completely Who inspired. I mean, was that at the Gorge you came to see?
It was at the Gorge. It totally was.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember running into Eddie Vedder out there that night. He was there that night. Yeah, no, those are completely, because I write these really weird songs a lot of the time, and like they're not necessarily things people can sing along with, and I rarely see the air guitar. Like my pal Chris Carrabba from Dashboard Confessional, I'm always jealous of him because when I go see him play, the entire audience sings along, and I just don't write like that. I'm always so jealous of him, but I really wanted, like when I was writing this, these songs were really determined by the song before them because they needed to all connect. And I knew the ending of Angel of 14th Street was going to be huge. And it was like going to be a big solo. I had that in my imagination from the moment I wrote it. And I wanted to crash down into this song. I just thought, man, I want big power chords like that. I want to do like big Who power chords. It was absolutely what I was thinking. And the song doesn't sound out very much like a Who song at all to me. It ended up coming out a little more like, I don't know what. It's got a little Springsteen in it, whatever. But those chords, that was all inspired by Pete Townsend. Those opening, I wanted big power chords. I was just thinking I would love to see someone in the audience just going,
boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I picked up on that right away, and it was so cool. And just this new EP, the 4 songs, they flow so well. You almost can't tell where one stops and the next starts. And it feels I'm sure it was very intentional, but like such a kind of a concept album. And it's just delicious. So thank you for bringing this to us. I know we've been very hungry for new Counting Crows. Do you guys have any sort of like a timeline you can like tease a little bit for maybe what Suite 2 might be?
No, I mean, there wasn't really any plan for a Suite 2. Because honestly, I didn't know if Suite 1 was going to work. I had this concept in my head, and I composed that way, and I arranged it that way, and we played it that way. But until we finished mixing and kind of clipped them together, we didn't really know that it worked. When we would record each song, we didn't play it in one 18-minute long thing. We would play each song, and we would play through the ending into the next song and stop somewhere in the first verse. And then, so we knew the transitions were there, but I still wasn't sure. And when we finished it, which might have been like the most satisfying day of my career, because when I heard it, I was like, wow, it was such a thing to keep something like that just in your imagination for so long without actually hearing it work. And when it worked, I was so happy. I thought, wow, I kind of like to do that again. At that point, I started thinking about it, doing it again, but there wasn't really any plan originally. But then I hadn't been to the farm in about a year and a half, and I went. I was there from like the 10th of June to the 10th of July just now. Me and my girlfriend went over, and I ended up writing about 4 more. I think they're not tightened up yet and finished, but it's looking like there's going to be a second suite. I think I've just got to get it together. But
well,
yeah,
we will definitely be looking forward to that. That's awesome. I love what you guys are doing. I love what the band has put out for us this year. Everybody right now, I feel like, is just spending their money on concert tickets because everybody's going out on tour. Who are you most excited to go and see in the coming months as live music returns to our lives?
I can't go see anybody. I got to be on tour.
Don't have any days off.
No, we do, but you can't go to a show. I mean,
sure.
I guess I'd kind of like to. I want to see Dashboard. I know they're going out in September. Chris told me he's going to be home in Nashville when we come through, so I'll get to hang out with him. He just came and stayed with us. His family was here for about a week ago. So I'm really looking forward to trying to see him again because he's one of my favorites. This band, Gang of Youth, they're just really good friends of mine, and they're going to do some touring in Europe, and I'm hoping to go over. I just sang on their record, and I'm hoping to go see them play some shows because I think they're kind of the best rock band on the planet right now.
Nice.
And I don't know who else is touring really. I'm looking forward to seeing Matt and Sean. Matt Susich, who's a New York City songwriter, and Sean Barna, who's he lives in Philadelphia now. They're both opening this tour. So I'm looking forward to watching them every night because they're 2 of my favorite songwriters. And then at the end of the tour, Frank Turner is coming over from England, and he's going to open the last quarter of the tour. And I am completely jacked up to see him every night. That's the great thing about going on tour with people you like is you actually get a free concert every night. So that's beautiful. Other than that, I don't really know what I'll get a chance to see. I went to see Springsteen on Broadway a week ago, and I talked to Bruce afterwards, and he told me he's going to tour late this year. So with the E Street Band. So, I mean, I would freak out for that. That would be cool.
4 hours of Springsteen typically. So yeah, we'll see you there for sure. I guess another question I have about, just kind of the music that you guys have been, putting out recently. I mean, we're dating back 30 years now. You guys I believe you're celebrating your 30th year as a band this year. Do you guys have an anniversary date of when the Counting Crows formed?
No, not really. I mean, I kind of think it was in 91. But there were different versions of the band before that. Honestly, I've never been sure when someone said that to me earlier this year. And I was like, no, it's not. The first album was 93. And then I thought, he said, no, but the band got together in 91. And I thought about it and I thought, oh yeah, I guess we kind of did. Maybe I couldn't remember, but I don't know. I don't know what to mark it by, but in any case, it's not like we're not having a party. I mean, these things kind of go by these years to mark this or that. And I don't know. I'm more concerned about playing gigs this year. But yeah, it's cool. I will say this, in our first year of touring, we went and opened for the Stones that year. This is 94 and on the Voodoo Lounge tour. And the first gig was on my birthday, my 30th birthday. And I remember thinking, wow, I'm 30 years old today. And we're opening for the Stones, and they probably started around 63, 64. So their band I'm 30 years old. Their band is 30 years old. And I remember thinking, that is just insane that you can keep a band together for 30 years. That just seemed impossible. And I mean, now here we are, which is really weird because I remember thinking I remember so clearly because it was on my 30th birthday. And I remember thinking, wow, that is so impressive to keep a band together and be good 30 years later. And it's just really weird. I mean, obviously we're not as big and we're never going to be as big as the Stones, but we have a song that's #1 at a format right now. It just seems crazy to me because most bands are like, they kill each other before now, or the entire world becomes so disinterested with them that it doesn't matter. And but here we are, and we got a song that's a hit at radio. It's just, I don't know how to digest that, honestly. It's cool.
I'm thrilled for you guys. So happy for you. Well, what a milestone, 30 years. And in the 90s, I mean, it still feels like it was 10 years ago. It was 30 years ago. We know this. But one thing I love about the 90s is how the style comes back. And I saw online what your elevator boots look like. And it's like the big platform elevator boots. Are you embracing the 90s style coming back into your life as well?
No, is that a 90s style? I don't remember the 90s having any style. My memory of the 90s is didn't really have any style, but I don't know. Maybe it did. I don't think
I was pumped about those elevator boots. The ones that you guys, I think you were doing like a giveaway or something of these elevator boots. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I feel like I wore those elevator boots with like a skirt and a flannel in the 90s. It was delightful. So I feel like you guys are definitely like paying homage to the shoe fashion that I was rocking, almost 30 years ago.
I was wearing like Doc Martens. I remember, and motorcycle boots. I remember, like, I was thinking of those platform shoes that Kiss and Elton John used to wear that were so cool.
Yes.
I don't remember anybody wearing them in the 90s, though. I felt like everyone was running around in plaid and Doc Martens.
A lot of Doc Martens. The Docs were life in the 90s, that's for sure. Well, 30 years later, we're so excited about the Butter Miracle tour, the Butter Miracle Suite 1. I'm so excited about this tour that you guys are embarking on. Everybody's been very hungry to see you in the flesh, and this is going to be such a wonderful time out on the road for you guys. Any little tidbits that you can give us about what you have planned for the stage coming up?
I mean, we change the show every night, so I don't have a lot of plans. My only real plan is to figure out we want to play the suite all together. And so to figure out a place for that in the show, I'm trying to sort of figure that out, but we won't really know until we play. But other than that, I don't plan ahead a lot in general. I want to play whatever I want to play on any given night. So we change the set list every night. So yeah, I don't know anything about it.
That's more of a reason for people to follow you around like a Deadhead or a Parrot Head. Like, it's going to be a different set list every night. You don't want to miss the single one. Go to all 33 tour dates.
Yeah, none of us are in our 80s, so it's nice.
Super nice. Well, Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Audacy loves the Counting Crows. I love the Counting Crows, and can't wait to see you live in concert here in just a few weeks.
Thanks, Taryn. It was a pleasure. Thank you for still caring. It's great.
Oh, really. So much caring, so much love, nothing but love. And we'll see you out on the road.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Bye-bye.